All right, want to do a quick weekend market update. Wall Street. So I'm going to go through all three of these. So FTSE Germany and Wall Street, just because we've had a very eventful week, but the markets haven't evolved as I anticipated, especially on Wall Street, because I was anticipating a move down at least to this line, and I was anticipating it this week, or by the end of this week I should say. But instead, what we've had, let me go down to a lower time frame, is just this range of a mess. Look at all of this. It's just so messy. It's like it doesn't know where it wants to go, up or down. Let me go down to one more time frame. We had a big push up recently, and then a big push down, and then on Friday there was a news announcement which didn't launch either way, up or down. So it's just kind of ranging in this annoying manner, and at the moment it's right in between of both buyers and sellers. So until it makes its move down past this level, or its move up past this level, there's really not much movement here. What I would like to see is for prices to come up to around about here again, and then come up in a slow manner, and then come down, breaking this level. Until it does that, there isn't really much I see on this market. It's just so messy that I don't really want to make a pun. I really don't want to look at it anymore. Until I see some direction on this, it's just so messy that I'm just like, okay, I'll leave this for a while until I get more data on this. Ideally, data coming to prices coming up to prices coming up to this level. Then I can say, okay, then I can analyze it on a lower time frame and say, okay, it's getting ready and it's going. When it does go, it's going to come down to here. It's just not quite ready yet, and I don't know when it will be ready because of this mess that we have on a lower time frame. So for the time being, Wall Street, I'm gonna keep away from it. I'll come on to Germany in a moment, because Germany, out of the three, is currently the most interesting to me, with FTSE being the secondary, coming in second place. We've had this continual push up, and I think what we're having is more or less a channel, which is a pullback to this move that's come down. So we've had this push down, and then we're continuing to have this pullback, which hasn't ended yet. It's so far, well, we're here right now. What I am anticipating is continual move up, most likely in a sort of channel way, or if not a channel way, I'm seeing, well, it could either be a triangle, or this will pretty much be a level that holds, and this will continue to have higher lows as this comes up. So a squeeze essentially before a push down. This push down is going to happen, and when it does happen, it will be across all markets, including Wall Street. But as I said, it's just taking longer than I anticipated. Let's go into a low time frame. So we have this push up, See, even on this market, we also had a bit of a mess here where we had a range that happened and then broke out and then came back into it. I do think this wants to go up, but it wouldn't surprise me if this range continues. Excuse me, continues all through this week, or this coming week, I should say. But on this market, I think what's more likely is we have this push up and we're going to have another push up. So on Monday/Tuesday, I expect the prices to come down to here again. If not reaching these lows, maybe around about this level, and then either slowly or quicker than this push up, come up one more time. I think we're going to have definitely one more push up on this. How this pushes up, as in, is it going to be stronger than this push up? Not sure just yet. When prices reach here, or this level, it wouldn't surprise me if it then drops down again, but doesn't reach these lows. Because I do think prices want to break this high and come up to around about these levels here before the push down. So right now we have, so far we had prices push up here and then the sellers slammed it down. So this guy right here is the one that buyers first have to take out, first out have to beat. And we have this SNR and this guy who started it. So this is difficult to read because prices can slam down at any levels. You have sellers all over the place. You have sellers here, which are the same sellers here that push this down. We also have them here. Let me clear this up slightly. We also have them here. So instead of prices coming up to this level again, it could just react from here and push it down, in which case we'll have a lower high. And we also have price sellers here and here where this guy started it. So it's a difficult market to read for the long term. For the short term, what I do see happening is buyers taking it up at least to here, and depending on how they come up compared to this move up will determine whether they're going to go up further, beat this high, or crash down. Yeah, this is also it's not a straightforward market. All markets actually aren't very straightforward. Germany is the one I like the most for a number of reasons. So let's go to the 4 hourly. You can see it better on the 4 hourly. Again, we have this sort of like messy area, right? The difference with Germany compared with the other two is that using correlation, Germany is behind FTSE. So FTSE came up to challenge these guys, and I do think Germany wants to reach that level. It attempted once. I think it's going to attempt one more time. Similar to FTSE, we've had this push up, and now we're gearing up for another push up, which will go up and challenge these guys. The sellers again could hit it here. We have sellers all over the place. These same sellers who pushed it down from here are the same guys here, and are the same guys here as well. So when buyers come up, sellers can react here, or they can go let buyers come up to all the way up here before they react. I really don't know. It's hard to say. it's hard to say on this market, but the opportunity, first things first, is for this to come down one more time. Isn't it interesting? We have this triangle that's been building. Anyway, we anticipating a push down one more time, and then the buyers to come up and challenge this guy. And this is where it gets quite messy, because the sellers can react from anywhere. This is just a kaboom area. The only safe place I see is around about here. From here upwards, sellers can react at any point. So it's too messy. But out of the three, it is the clearer one, because it's the one that has correlation on its side. Meaning other markets, you can see where other markets are and where this one wants to go. So using this, even on this time frame, is actually a lot clearer. So we have this push down and this push down. We've had this triangle that's taking place. What I'm anticipating is at least one more push down, because this was bigger than this push down. So I want to see one more push down to break this, for one, and for two, reach at least this level or thereabouts, I should say, and then get some strength in order to push up and break this level to come up and challenge these guys, especially this guy. Now, correlation shows that other markets, especially FTSE, has gone past this level, right? So when prices comes up, I think this guy will be quite easy to beat, to go through. But this guy, who's the same guy, see, you have them here and also here, and then here and here. You have sellers all over the place on this, and what they ultimately want to do is send prices down to this level, but first they need buyers, right? So similar to FTSE, we might again see a sort of channel that occurs here. The difference on this market is this push down was so lopsided. It doesn't surprise me, actually, now that I'm looking at it from this time frame, that this area is problematic, because this is the buyers not being able to go past this strong SNR and being in a rush to go down. We may see a similar thing on Wall Street. Well, actually, I don't see it on Wall Street, but that is where Germany is at. Wall Street, on the other hand, does want to make its way at least to this level. Other markets are reaching down to these guys, right? So when this comes down, I do think it's going to come down hard, breaking this level and gearing up to reach this level at least. Sorry, not at least, but to catch up with the other markets. But first things first on this market is all of this mess needs to be ironed out. Look at the wicks on this. Look how wide the wicks are. Like boom, boom, compared to the bodies. It's just so wide, and it's just so unappealing. Even on the lower the time frame, the worse it is. Because you have such a range of a state which I don't like. So I want to see more data up here. My thinking on this is FTSE will aim to break this high this week before it crashes down, and Germany, being my favorite out of them, will first aim to reach these highs between there and there. So something like this, and then a push up. Whether the push up is strong or weaker than this, not sure. We'll see. But once we're in this range, I can then reanalyze and say, okay, prices are again ready to go down. I'll be surprised if after this big push we have a push down, because it will kind of I'll consider, well, I'm wondering, we have this big push down, and on other markets we kind of have enough data now to say yes, this push has ended and we're having a pullback, but the pullback is not pulling back. That's the issue. And on here we have this SNR. I would have liked to see this pull back deeper than it is already, than the current state. Well, instead it's quite shallow. At least this says pull back, and we have this level where we can say, okay, I want to see one more pullback before the drop, another drop, and this drop that happens will be the second move to this first move. So at this point I can say yes, this move, I'm confident enough to say yes, it's ended because of this pullback. What I'm anticipating now is whether this pullback is the first of two, or whether it's still going. So this has ended. Question is, has this pullback ended, or is it still going? Not sure. We'll see in the coming week. I'll have a video during the week at some point, but for Wall Street, it's, yeah, I want to say it's quite annoying that we haven't had a strong push down after this, but maybe it's just a timing issue. Maybe we just need a bit more time to go by. Actually, come to think of it, on other markets we've had a deep pullback, which shows that this has ended, all of this has ended. But on this market we've had this, but we haven't had a pullback yet. And at this point I'm not so confident to say this is the pullback. It's too, one, it's not deep enough, and two, if it is a rangy pullback, we haven't had enough time go by to say, okay, this is a pullback. It just didn't come in deep enough. Instead it ranged. But if we do have a push up and a push down which breaks this low, I'll need to reanalyze and say, this was a pullback. It just was the first leg of two, similar to how other markets, I think we see it better in FTSE. Similar to FTSE, where we have this push up and this pullback, which is the first of two, right? And for the sellers to hit this one more time, we need a pullback to this, a pullback to this sells, i.e. buyers, right? So this is the buyers coming in, giving the sellers opportunity to make their secondary push down to this huge push up. And this secondary push down, of course, we'll need to analyze whether it's stronger or weaker than this first one. So when this does eventually come down, are we going to see prices? Are we going to see this secondary one stronger than this first one? Let's go into Germany. See, Germany is, I think it's more likely to reach this level than other markets. So we had all of this push up and then this pullback, showing that this has ended, right? The question is, has this ended? We need a pullback or a range. If it's going to be a range, we need more time to signify that yes, this has ended, because it's now ranging, right? And if we do get that, this will be one of two. And the question is, where is 2 going to start and end? We know 2 wants to come down to here. So that will be 2. The only question is, how is this pullback going to perform? If it's going to bounce off of the SNR, we're not going to have a deep pullback, and instead it's going to be more of a range pullback before the additional push down. And using correlation, it will mean, so this is the equivalent where FTSE needs to come down to. It will mean when FTSE pushes down, it's going to cover more ground, or it has more ground to cover than Germany. And Wall Street has the most ground to cover, because they've got to go all the way down here to reach the equivalent of where Germany is aiming to reach. So there are a lot of possibilities. What's throwing me off is this range that's occurring in both Wall Street and Germany. Wall Street is the hardest to read. Germany, I can see why this isn't, because it's an SNR. I just usually like to see the pullback coming deeper than the SNR. But, I don't control the markets. See, I wanted something like this on Germany. But it sort of makes sense, doesn't it? Because Germany is not pulling back because it's in a hurry to reach down to here. It wants to reach down there the quickest. It's almost there. which is why it's not going to come in, well, it may not come in deep like that. Instead, it's just going to use this SNR as a launching point to bounce and reach down to this guy. Okay, I will leave it there for now. I'll have more videos during the week. It depends on how things play out, but definitely one during the week. I'll aim to have more than one though, because this is an interesting set of events that's happening. I'm not sure, my confidence on the direction in all three markets is quite weak. It's a little strong in Germany. I can see the levels in Germany on the lower time frame. I can see it clearer more on the 15 and 5 minutes actually. And Wall Street is the most messy. I don't even want to go down to the 15 and 5 minutes time frame because it's too messy for my liking. I see both buyers and sellers all over the place. So I'll hang back until prices confidently reaches this level again, and then I can start to analyze things. You see, if this range that's happening here happened up here, perfect, because at least I'll be with the sellers and be able to say, okay, these guys are ready to go down for the long ride. Whereas prices being where they are now here, one is too big of a range, and two, they're both buyers and sellers all over the place. That's why you have this wicks. Look at these wicks. They're so wide, right? So deep, so long. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So I'll wait until prices reaches past the 35,500 level, and then I'll reassess. But this is a very interesting market because when it does push down, it has a lot of ground to cover. And you know, Wall Street, it moves super quick. So it wouldn't surprise me if all of this is covered within just a few days. Within a week, it could be covered. So lots of opportunities when this market is ready. All right, I'll leave it there. I'll have more videos during the week. All right, bye for now.